Hi everybody. Okay, we're picking up where we left off on the previous clip. Once again, Bill McCabe here with the Iron Crane Dojo, being assisted by Sensei Chris Entus. And we looked at the first 9 striking techniques, basic setups from when somebody grabs your wrist. And again, these are not comprehensive, complete, global self-defense techniques. These are building blocks that you use to construct a network of operational modes for yourself. Of course, under the guidance of a qualified instructor. Number 1, underneath, hit. Now, things to look for here are you're underneath the person's power. And you should actually practice this quite a bit just so you got the idea of how to do it. He grabs and he holds. And all you have to do to get away from that power is not go into the line where the power's at. So this is where he's at. This is where he's not. See, there's nothing there. This is where he's at. He's not here. This is where he's at. He's not here. He's not here. So there's more places where he's not than there are where he is. So you've got to understand that. Because most people freeze like a deer in the roadway when somebody grabs them. They're stuck. And they're fighting the person. And basically the fight's over at that point. So these concepts, each one of these moves has a way for you to negotiate that power. And you have to develop that within yourself over time. Okay? Strike. And see this strike? I'm not hitting like this. My hand is like a wet rag, and it's cutting in. And it's cutting here. See how soft it is? It's just hitting like a whip, and when it hits, it really hits hard. And as I do it, so I'm pulling him into the strike. So even a girl or somebody who weighs 95 to 100 to 115 pounds can develop tremendous power by relaxing this arm, bringing him in and striking. Now, all the macho guys, they'll do this, there's no movement. They'll do this and there's no movement, and it's all physical strength. The basic technique is to hit and hit. And then when you do that, you've got tremendous power that you can launch because you own the person's balance. Technique number 2, it's the same management technique for the force coming in, but the technique of striking is different. You're working a different target area. You hit. Bring the camera to the other side, if you will. Here I am. You hit. And the beauty of this is you're learning to strike from the rear to the front, which is a concept that's not emphasized enough in the martial arts. You see, your body is prepared to absorb punishment from the front, because that's how you go through life. You're walking through life bumping into things. It's also prepared to take shock from above. It's not prepared to take shock from the lateral invisible shadows from the sides. So when you do a hit like this, 1, 2, and come from the rear to the front, that's an exposed vulnerable area, and it takes much less impact to cause much more incapacitation. So it's a great self-defense strike. But you have to teach yourself to be able to do that. See, he grabs me, he chokes me. See, I'm hitting from the rear all the time. And you can actually see how his body moves. I'm just touching him, but it creates shock to the body. Okay, number 3. Help me out, what's number 3? Thank you. I do know these. Number 3 is a different energy management technique. So here, instead of managing underneath and outside, you're managing it by taking the center and going here. Now watch. See, I can very easily use this to develop a tremendous hit onto him. But number 3 assumes something different. Number 3 assumes you've got multiple attackers, and you have to clear the area and take stock of what the threats are. So you do a turnabout, get control, hit. And as you hit, you clear to the rear. If you look down at my leg, you can see I've got a potential sweep built in here, and I've got a potential control here if I need to take it. I can also hit low or hit high, so there's a whole world of options here. And after I see that it's clear and I hit, I can turn about, recapture, and snap the wrist or throw him over. Number 4 is the release, the quick release, and the elbow strike. There's many ways to do this. So some people like to go inside. If you go inside, you've got the options to take the leg underneath, if that's your choice to do that. You can go outside. If you go outside, you've got the options to take the person down. You have the options to wrap the head. You have the options to do reverse throws. You can do it stepping away. If you step away, you have the option for the back fist, clear, hit, knee. As he goes back, kick. Or you can do it stepping in deep. In. This is more like a bear. Just penetrate right through the sternum. All basically the same technique with different modes of execution. Number 5 is one of our favorite techniques because it's so relaxed but so powerful. I simply relax upward and I'm under the power. We call this a U-hand. We use it all the time. And you can control with the U-hand in virtually all directions, but here you're doing it vertically. Because you've got the laterals, both sides now, you're going vertical. So you're learning a lot about moving against power as you master these techniques. Number 5 can be a simple push, push, or it can be a hard strike. In, hit. Now when we practice this, we practice at full strength, but we do the strike adjacent to the target because of the risk factor involved. You can also do number 5 as the control technique. You're right here and you control. Number 6, crane strike. He's here. I roll outside. Now watch the roll. I do a curly cue. And I do an opposing curly cue here to keep him balanced and centered as I strike. See how he's stuck here? This is the extended linear arm. Now he doesn't know I'm setting him up for that. See, as he's grabbing me, he's trying to hold me. As he tries to hold, that causes his arm to straighten out at the end. Now on the other side, if you bring the camera to the other side, I'm doing a full wrap on his head. Take a look at my left hand, if you will, sir. I'm doing a full wrap on his head. And your instructors will work more closely with you on that particular technique because there's a lot of sub-elements here that you'll want to master over time. Number 7 is evacuating the inside or the center and going completely outside and then using the attacker as an obstacle against other attackers. Okay, so it's a whole new concept. I strike and I hit. This is an uppercut. Gets him on his toes for I can actually hit twice. Gets him on his toes for a second. I raise this high enough so I can get under it safely. And I raise it up here, capturing it, as you can tell. And you see my legs, I'm in reverse cap. I lift, go under, strike. Bring my right foot back and I'm behind, and I've got him in control. Now watch. Okay, once you develop power, take out the arm. Or you can simply propel him into his aggressive friends. Number 8 is a downward elbow strike. He captures, I go up, and I'm above it. It's 45, 45, 45, and 45. Down. Now watch what I do. And again, this is a very powerful self-defense technique. I'm up, and I'm capturing here. This is the eagle's heart, or the eagle and dragon heart capture. See, this is a very tight capture. It pulls back. See, it's like a Chinese handcuff. It tightens. So I'm here, and I let his arm relax a little bit as I'm doing it. And as I strike, I straighten his arm into the strike, which is what makes it very, very powerful. And you don't need muscle to do any of this. You need timing and focus. And over the course of a lifetime, timing and focus will be the real tools of self-defense. The muscles will go. Number 9 is a bicep strike. I roll underneath, capture with my thumb. Now this is a hard move for me to do. As you can see, my right thumb is rolled over and in from a prior injury from when I was in the military many decades ago. So it's a hard technique for me to do, but for you it'll be much easier. I roll, capture, and this is a lower wrap. and the other one was high ramp. This is the opposite end of that. So you're learning quite a bit here. And as I do it, I turn, relax his arm, and as I straighten his arm, I bicep strike into the point 3 fingers above his elbow, which would be right here. And I bicep strike there, bicep. And it actually is a bicep or lateral arm strike, depending on how you approach the technique. Okay, so there you have it. These 9 basic techniques are essentially taught to people in the first 2 weeks of class. And it's just the beginning. And over a period of 2 years, you're exposed to hundreds, possibly thousands of variations of techniques. So you can see it's a long road. And that's if you want to become a three-dimensional, an unmentionable, three-dimensional martial artist, meaning that you have a full range of skills covering all potential possibilities of threats. So take some of that, take it into your personal practice and into your personal life, contemplate it, see if it works for you, see if it gives you ideas, and explore it with your teachers. Have a good day.